Hey guys, this is Alex Olson here with Xchange Commercial Real Estate, and I'm excited to bring to you the Multifamily Minute. This is where I cover on-market deals that are available as well as Xchange Commercial Real Estate off-market deals. All right, so let's get started. This is kind of a no BS show here, so I'd like to get right into it. And first of all, we'll cover the latest deals that are on LoopNet and talk a little bit about these. And so you guys are all familiar with LoopNet, and this here is the Kansas City Metro highlighted, which is our main focus. We do deals in Kansas and Missouri at this time, and are constantly adding others. But here's just the Kansas City market that I wanted to highlight. I have a couple filters on here, mostly that this is multifamily only. So you're not going to see any industrial, any of those kind of asset classes. And that it's only properties that have come on the market within the last 2 weeks because various reasons, many of the other ones might be old and off market, but these are the ones that are listed at least right now as active. I'm not going to really focus on this particular deal because it's only $400,000 for a duplex. But I will focus a little bit on this Raytown property, which is 1.225 million at a 6.36% cap rate. I'm not sure if that's projected or if that's based on actuals, but let's click into it a little bit here. Looks nicely rehabbed. Looks like it's a mixed site, multi-site type of asset here. And you've got all the standard information on this property, such as when it was built, kind of the current occupancy rate. So this is in Raytown submarket, which we have actually transacted in quite a bit, and is a excellent Class C submarket. And I think it's a decent idea to look at that. Might be a good fit for your exchange if you like multi-site types of products. I also then want to come over here to the Lotawana deal, which we have actually had on our list for several weeks now. We know the owner quite well. He's a friend of ours, and we have intimate knowledge of this particular property. It's 10 units, 1.25 million. He's put a lot of effort into it, getting the rates up, getting the property painted, doing LVP flooring, several other pieces to it, improving upon that. And this is actually located in my back door. I live at Lake Lotawana. So if we zoom into this submarket here, yeah, it's Lake Lotawana, but really the school district is Lee Summit, and Lee Summit is an excellent Class A market, sandwiched a little bit in between Blue Springs, Green Valley, and Lee Summit. You can see that earlier property there in Raytown, but this is a Class A submarket, excellent schools, good appreciation, exceptional population growth, highly recommended. This is perfect for a 1031 exchange because it's mostly stabilized with well-to-do tenants, not a whole lot to do to it. So you come in, maybe do some light value add over time, continue to push rents, and you're off to the races. So these are the two newest deals that I've seen come onto the market here in the Metro. So that covers really kind of the general pieces of those properties. Next, I did want to head over to the MLS, and the MLS is kind of clunky to look at if you're just looking at the MLS. So I actually use Zillow most often when doing a quick snapshot. So this here, again, is filtered down to just the Kansas City Metro. I've also filtered it to be $500,000 plus, so we're not looking at anything too small. Again, our sweet spot is $1 million to $10 million, most of that coming in the $1.5 to $5 million range. However, as you guys all know, multifamily is very hot. Stuff doesn't come on and off the market, or doesn't come on the market very often. because it's mostly sold off market. But I did want to highlight a couple of new properties that did hit the market this week, specifically just on the MLS. And one of those is going to be this property here for $530,000. Looks like a fourplex. It's located in likely Platte County, which is the same area as the airport. You can see Platte County here. And this is in North Kansas City School District, similar to Parkville. Probably has pretty decent rents on them, although rents probably can likely be pushed higher. So that's an opportunity if you're in the lower price range of the spectrum that could be interesting to you. Again, that's what we call north of the river. You can see the river coming down here, splits the city in half, so to speak. And this is north of the river area, Parkville, Gladstone, Platte Woods, all the way up here to Platte City and the airport. Great school district, good location, very family oriented, would be a fine investment opportunity depending on current rents. Another property that came to market, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but is this property down here in Pleasant Hill. Again, kind of close to my neck of the woods in Lake Lotawana. This is in Cass County, and I would consider this a B submarket, maybe a B plus, just because it's so rural in nature. But this is a fourplex that happens to be listed at $595. Maybe newer construction, each with garages, plenty of room here to spread out, likely under rented. So there's opportunity here if you're into fourplexes. Again, our main focus is 750 to 10 million, or sorry, million to 10 million. But glad to help you out with anything that's lower. Again, this is southeast part of the metro. When looking at the map here, still excellent factors involved with appreciation, et cetera. So that kind of takes a quick look at the new stuff that's come on the market, Kansas City and multifamily. And I wanted to now talk a little bit about what Xchange CRE has available for off-market deals. Again, these are direct to seller where we don't necessarily have a listing agreement because we promise the seller, hey, look, we're not going to disturb you or your tenants. Is there a price you would need to have to make a sale? We then bring that, do our analysis, find out all the details we can, get as much info as we can on it, and present it to you on our buyers list. So we have one new deal in the last couple of weeks here in Liberty, which I've talked about a lot in the past, but this is northeast corner of the metro. We also have William Jewell College here, excellent Class A submarket. Again, north of the river, northeast side, you've got major arteries in I-35 going through. You've got another major artery, if I zoom in here, on 291, which is going to be where my mouse is kind of going through. Excellent school district, very fast growing population. Just a really good, solid investment. Again, we have a new opportunity on our list that I noticed several of you have been looking at. And there's tons of information I have on it. I've got a 3D tour. I've got aerial tour. I have financials, of course. I also have rental comparison. This particular property is under rented by $200 plus. So it's something that you could take a look at and say, look, man, I can put 200 extra bucks in my pocket compared to what the current owner is getting by doing strictly cosmetic updates. So that's one property. I want to zoom back out just so we can re-get our bearings here. You can see, from the other maps, all the other locations we talked about earlier: Lake Lotawana, Lee's Summit, Pleasant Hill. Again, there's a Liberty deal. And then right next to that, we have this here in yellow, which is Pleasant Valley, which is a very small town, to be frank. It's really, Clay Como, Pleasant Valley, kind of Gladstone-y area. but the address is Pleasant Valley. Very blue collar worker type of neighborhood. It is suburban. The Ford plant is located, I believe, right here. So this is where, they make a lot of F-150s in the area. There's, thousands of employees down there. So there's always a good pool of renters. And this particular property is 8 units, 4 2-bedrooms, 1 bath, 4 1-bedroom, 1 bath. And again, is also very well, it's not very well under rented, but it's under rented by a good $100, $50 to $100 a piece, completely remodeled, looks nice. And we have photos on that one, and definitely something to take a look at and check out, because it's just kind of one of those deals where it's blue collar. It's listed at, I think, $650 for 8 units. Whereas up here, again, this is more of a Class B market, very solid Class B market. And this other area is a Class A submarket, and that was 9 units for $850. So you can kind of see the difference, even though they're not too far apart. But a lot of what depends here in the Missouri side is all about the school district and how progressive these suburbs and submarkets are being on economic growth. So with that, these two here are very good for 1031 exchanges for different reasons, and happy to chat through why that would be the case with you. One requires a little bit more work, but has higher upside. One requires less work with less upside, typical risk reward scenario. Now, I wanted to finish up with just some pertinent news information here. If you're on my deal flow email, you get this in your email, but let's see here. So we've got a recent news article here where Arc Street Capital acquires 2 recently completed Amazon warehouses here in the Midwest. I'm going to zoom back out on the map so you can kind of take a look and study this while I'm reading these. But this is by Claire Kennedy of CoStar News. The New York real estate investment firm said in a February 22nd statement that it closed on 2 Amazon distribution centers in the Midwest on behalf of an institutional investor. Further, it goes on that a spokeswoman told CoStar that the transaction included 1.1 million square feet at Leavenworth Road in Kansas City and a 755,000 square foot building in Minnesota. Arch Financial, on top of its institutional capital partners, provided the equity. Both buildings were finished in 2021, and these types of buildings were actually designed to handle orders involving bulky, heavy, or awkwardly shaped items like canoes, rugs, and home appliances. The buildings were part of a 3-property, $390 million portfolio that was really kind of put together in December of 2020. And I will say that Amazon occupied industrial buildings are coveted by investors this year, has already seen other massive trades involving Amazon leased properties. Why that's important to the multifamily space, as we know, jobs brings people, and people need places to live. So there's all different sorts of blue collar pockets that have excellent needs for good workforce housing, and that's what we typically showcase is BC class properties in ABC neighborhoods. Another quick article here is on another type of logistics warehouse and company where they're bringing growth to Overland Park, Kansas, and Johnson County. The Kansas City area logistics industry added another competitor. This episode, or this news article, is by Brian Kaberlein with Kansas City Business Journal. Trailer Bridge Inc. said it opened a new logistics office in the Commerce Plaza building at 7300 West 110th Street. And this is from a Jacksonville, Florida-based company, expects to have 10 employees by the office by the end of the year. Overland Park office is Trailer Bridge's 9th It is led by branch manager Kyle Olson, no relation to me. Trailer Bridge ranks number 4,117 on the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing companies. Basically, what I'm saying here, what this article is saying, and the reason why it's important is because top companies continue to invest in Kansas City, even if it's small. We all know that everything starts out small and goes big from there. So again, we've got several new properties to look at on our list. I gave you an overview of what hit the market last couple of weeks. And again, this is Alex Olson with the Xchange Commercial Real Estate Multifamily Minute. Thank you.